Mrs. K. Thanks for checking out my channel. Hey, it's Mrs. K. We're going to read a new story today. What would it be like if you couldn't see? If you had to use your hands to feel what objects look like? Close your eyes for just a second and think, how would I get around? What would I use? That's right, your hands, your sense of smell, your hearing. Our story today is about 7 blind mice. In the story, they can't see very well, so they have to feel objects to figure out what they are. Let's get started by reading our title and author. 7 Blind Mice by Ed Yong. I want you to look at the picture of the mice on the cover of the book. What color are they? That's right, they're all black. Even though they don't have any other colors and it's just the outline like their shadow, you can tell that they're mice. Let's get ready to read the story by making a prediction. What kind of trouble could 7 blind mice get into? A lot, right? Think about that right now. Make a prediction. Remember, a prediction is where you make a guess about what's going to happen in the story. One day, 7 blind mice were surprised to find a strange something by their pond. "What is it?" they cried, and they all ran home. I want you to think, if you couldn't see and then you ran into something big, how would you feel? Probably a little scared, right? Things that we don't know can sometimes seem scary, and I think that's why the mice ended up running away from the something new. Let's find out what it is. On Monday, Red Mouse went first to find out. Take a look. There's Red Mouse. And it looks like she has found what? What is that? I think it's a leg. Do you know what animal it belongs to? Did you guess it? That's right. It belongs to an elephant. Do you think Red Mouse is going to think it's an elephant's leg? I don't know. Let's read and find out. "It's a pillar," he said. No one believed him. Look at this pillar. What does it look like to you? That's right. It looks just like the elephant's leg. So it looks like Red Mouse is wrong. It's not a pillar. I think she needs more information to find out what's going on with the something. Let's see what happens on the next page. On Tuesday, Green Mouse set out. He was the second to go. I wonder what Green Mouse is going to see. Look at the elephant's trunk. What else could it be? Think about that. What could Green Mouse think that something that's shaped like this is going to be? "It's a snake," he said. Oh, look at that. I can see how when Green Mouse went over, an elephant's trunk can look a lot like a snake. "No," said Yellow Mouse on Wednesday. This is the elephant's tusk. A tusk is kind of like a big tooth that comes out of their mouth. Look at the shape of the tusk. What do you think the Yellow Mouse sees? It's a spear! He was the third in turn. I can see how a spear is very hard, so maybe it's hard like an elephant tusk, because an elephant tusk is hard and pointed, but it's definitely not a spear. How on earth are they going to find out it's an elephant? Do you have any ideas? Think, what would you need to know it was an elephant? The fourth was Purple Mouse. He went on Thursday. Look at the elephant's head. What do you think he's going to say the elephant's head is? I think it looks like a rock. Make a prediction. What do you think he's going to say? "It's a great cliff," he said. Now, an elephant's head is pretty high up off the ground, and I bet to a itty bitty tiny little mouse, it really does seem like a cliff. But we know it's not a cliff, it's the elephant's head. They have made so many guesses, but none of them have been right. How are they going to figure this out? Orange Mouse went on Friday, the 5th to go. Look where the Orange Mouse is. He's up by the elephant's ear. What do you think an elephant's ear feels like? Do you think it's very stiff? No, it would sway and flow and move. Let's find out what the Orange Mouse is going to think it is. It's a fan, he cried. I felt it move. Look at that. I think a fan is a great guess. It's the same shape, it moves and sways, but even though it's a good guess, it's not the right one. Let's find out what part they're going to explore next. The 6th to go was Blue Mouse. What is it that the Blue Mouse is going to investigate? That's right, the elephant's tail. And I noticed two things about the elephant's tail. One, it has hair at the bottom, and two, it moves. I'm wondering, what is Blue Mouse going to say about the tail? He went on Saturday and said, it's nothing but a rope. Well, a rope is a good guess, but you know what I'm noticing? They've explored the elephant's foot, the elephant's tusk, the elephant's head, his ear, his tail. But you know what they're not doing? Is they're not exploring the whole elephant, just the parts. I wonder if that's how they're going to find out what the something is. But the others didn't agree. They began to argue. A snake, a rope, a fan, a cliff. Until on Sunday, White Mouse, the 7th mouse, went to the pond. Now, they can't seem to figure out what it is, and now they've started arguing. That's never a good idea. But I'm looking at the White Mouse. I think that White Mouse has a plan. When she came upon the something, she ran up one side and she ran down the other. She ran across the top and from end to end. She's done something different. She noticed that her siblings all had different parts, and she needed to explore the entire something. Now let's see if she's figured it out. Ah, said the White Mouse, now I see. The something is as sturdy as a pillar, supple as a snake, wide as a cliff, sharp as a spear, breezy as a fan, stringy as a rope, but all together, the something is an elephant. And when the other mice ran up one side and down the other, across the something from end to end, they agreed. Now they saw too. Now all the mice are getting to explore the entire elephant. The mouse moral. Knowing in part may make a fine tale, but wisdom comes from seeing the whole. Now, a moral, like it says here, is a lesson. The author of this book wants us to learn a lesson. He wants us to learn that you have to have all of the parts to understand the whole. It would be like if we tried to read this book and understand it, but only read one page. You wouldn't know what the story was about until you read the whole story. Then you would understand it. What a great lesson. I hope you enjoyed our story today as much as I did. I can't wait to read to you again soon. Don't worry, I've got plenty of books on my bookshelf. See you later.